Ladies and gentlemen, today, I want to share a powerful truth that can transform your life. God is about to turn your pain into purpose. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by life struggles, if you've questioned why you're going through what you're going through, stay with me, because what I'm about to share could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Life has a way of testing us in ways we never anticipated. It's like we're caught in a storm, and sometimes it feels like the wind is too strong, the rain too heavy, and the darkness too overwhelming. But what if I told you that every storm, every trial, every moment of pain you're experiencing is actually a part of a greater plan? That pain, as difficult as it is to endure, is not just punishment or random suffering. It's a vital ingredient in the process of becoming who you are truly meant to be. Pain is often misunderstood. Society teaches us to avoid pain at all costs, to suppress it, to numb it, to push through it without truly understanding its purpose. But pain has a voice. Pain is a teacher. It speaks to us in ways that comfort and ease simply cannot. It whispers truths about our strength, our resilience, and our capacity to endure. It reveals what we're really made of when everything else is stripped away. Pain challenges us to look inward and discover the hidden wells of grit and grace that we didn't even know existed within us. When we face hardship, it's easy to feel like God is absent or that we've been abandoned. But really, pain often signals that something greater is happening beneath the surface. It's a sign that growth is taking place, even if we can't see it right now. Think about the process of a seed buried deep in the earth. It's dark down there. It's uncomfortable, almost like it's dying. But what's really happening? The seed is germinating, preparing to break through the soil and blossom into something beautiful and vibrant. Pain works the same way in our lives. It's the dark, uncomfortable place where transformation begins. Many of us want quick fixes, instant relief, and immediate answers. But growth rarely happens overnight. It's a process, sometimes a slow, painful process that requires us to stay rooted even when the storm is raging. It's in those moments of pain that we learn to stand firm, to trust the process, and to believe that better days are coming. Because every trial is an opportunity to develop patience, perseverance, and a deeper reliance on divine strength. What we often forget is that pain is a part of life's curriculum. It's a lesson plan designed to shape us into the resilient, compassionate, and purpose-driven individuals we're meant to be. When life knocks us down, it's not a sign that we're defeated. It's a sign that we're being prepared. The pain we experience today is the training ground for the victories of tomorrow. It's the raw material that forges our character, refines our faith, and prepares us for the purpose that awaits us. Many of us carry wounds from past hurts, emotional scars, broken relationships, lost dreams that seem to define us. But what if those wounds are actually the evidence of your survival? What if your pain is proof that you've endured, that you've fought, and that you're still standing? Because the truth is, pain doesn't have the final say. It's simply a chapter in your story, not the conclusion. And if you're willing to look beyond the hurt, you'll see that every painful experience is a stepping stone toward your destiny. It's important to understand that pain can either make us bitter or it can make us better. That choice lies within us. We can choose to let pain consume us, to let it define us, or we can choose to let it refine us. When we embrace the lessons of pain, we open ourselves up to growth and transformation. We realize that we are stronger than our circumstances and that our setbacks are setups for greater comebacks. There's a divine purpose in every trial, even when it's hard to see. Sometimes we don't understand why certain things happen until we're on the other side of them. The pain of heartbreak, failure, or disappointment can feel like the end of the road, but really, it's a bend in the road. It's an invitation to trust God's sovereignty and to believe that He's working all things together for your good. The process of pain is often a process of purification, where God is removing what's unnecessary and positioning you for what's next. It's during these seasons of pain that our faith is truly tested. Do we trust that there's a purpose beyond what we see? Do we believe that God is bigger than our circumstances? When we hold on to hope and stay connected to divine truth, we begin to see pain not as a punishment, but as a pathway to purpose. We start to understand that what we're going through is shaping us into the person we're destined to become. Pain also reveals our truth. It exposes what we truly believe about ourselves and about God. When life gets hard, our faith is stretched and our character is revealed. It's in those moments that we learn to lean not on our own understanding, but on divine wisdom. Our pain becomes a mirror, showing us areas where we need healing, areas where we need to trust more deeply, and areas where we need to surrender control. In the end, pain is universal. No one escapes it. But what separates those who emerge victorious from those who remain defeated is their perspective. Those who see pain as a part of their divine journey, who understand that their suffering is temporary and purposeful, are the ones who will ultimately rise stronger and more resilient. They recognize that pain is not the enemy, but an essential part of their spiritual growth. So I challenge you today to shift your perception. See your pain as a sign that God is working behind the scenes, preparing you for something greater. Embrace the discomfort, knowing it's a part of the process of becoming the full expression of who you are meant to be. Your pain is not the end. It's the beginning of a new chapter filled with purpose, hope, and divine destiny. Trust that even now, God is working on your behalf, turning your pain into a powerful testimony of victory and purpose. Trusting in God's plan can be one of the most challenging yet most empowering decisions you'll ever make. It's easy to believe when life is smooth, when the roads are clear, and everything seems to be falling into place. But real faith is tested when the storms come, when the winds blow fiercely and the ground beneath your feet feels unstable. That's when trusting in divine purpose becomes a deliberate act, a choice to believe beyond what you see and feel. It's about leaning into the unseen, holding on to hope when everything around you suggests you should let go. There's a profound strength that emerges when you decide to trust that God's plan is bigger than your pain, bigger than your setbacks, and bigger than your current circumstances. Trusting isn't about pretending everything is okay or ignoring the reality of your situation. It's about acknowledging what is, but refusing to let it define you or limit your faith. Trusting means you hold on to the promise that God is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it with your physical eyes. It's about having the confidence that your current suffering is temporary and that a divine purpose is unfolding in the midst of it. Trust is rooted in relationship. It's about knowing that the one who created you knows what's best for you, even when your human mind doesn't understand the why behind your pain. It's about surrendering your worries, fears, and doubts into his capable hands. Surrender isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of courageous faith. It's choosing to believe that God's plans for you are good, even when life feels chaotic. When you trust, you release control and allow divine guidance to lead you through the darkness toward the light on the other side. The journey of trusting God is often marked by moments of uncertainty. You may question doubt or even feel like giving up. But trust is built not in the absence of storms, but in the midst of them. It's in those times of turbulence that your faith is refined and strengthened. Each doubt you face becomes an opportunity to lean deeper into his promises. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. When you choose to trust, you're declaring that your hope is anchored in something greater than your present pain. You're saying that your life isn't just about what you see, but about what you believe, about what you know in your heart to be true. Trust invites you into a posture of surrender, a state of openness to divine direction. It's about waking up each morning with an expectation that God is working on your behalf. Trust is about saying, even if I don't see it now, I believe you are moving behind the scenes. I believe you are orchestrating something beautiful out of my broken pieces. It's a bold declaration that your life is in his hands, that his plans for you are perfect, and that his timing is always right. When you trust, you're choosing to believe that God's purpose is unfolding even in the chaos, even in the silence, even in the pain. This kind of trust doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily choice, a moment-by-moment decision to lean on divine wisdom instead of your limited understanding. It's about cultivating a relationship that says, I may not have all the answers, but I know the one who does. Trusting God requires you to silence the voice of doubt and listen to the voice of faith. It means reminding yourself that his promises are yes and amen, and that his love for you is unchanging and unconditional. Trust isn't passive, it's active. It's a stance you take to stand firm in the storm, to keep moving forward even when the road is rough. Trust pushes you to keep praying when the answers seem delayed. It encourages you to keep believing when the situation looks hopeless. Trust fuels your perseverance because you know that God's purposes are bigger than your pain. When you trust, you're aligning yourself with divine timing. You're releasing the need to control every detail and instead choosing to rest in his sovereignty. Trust is also about patience. It's about understanding that divine timing isn't always our timing. Sometimes we want immediate results, quick breakthroughs, and instant relief. But trust reminds us that God's delays are not denials. They are divine setups for something greater. When we learn to wait with faith, we're preparing ourselves for the fullness of His promises. We're cultivating a posture of patience that says, I believe you're working, even when I can't see it right now. Trust teaches us that God's plans are perfect, His ways are higher, and His timing is always right. In trusting God, you become a living testimony of faith in action. You show others that even in the midst of pain and uncertainty, you have hope rooted in divine love and divine purpose. You become a beacon of strength and resilience, inspiring others to believe that their circumstances are not the final chapter. Trust gives you the courage to keep going, to keep praying, and to keep believing that better days are ahead. Trust isn't just about believing for yourself. It's about trusting in the goodness of God, even when life doesn't make sense. It's about knowing that your story is being written by a loving Creator who sees the end from the beginning. Trust is about surrendering control and embracing the truth that His plans for your life are for good, to give you a future and hope. When you trust, you're not giving up, you're giving over. Trusting that God's got this, that He's working all things together for your good, and that your current pain is temporary compared to the eternal purpose He has for you. You may be in a season of waiting, a season of uncertainty, or a season of pain, but trust is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when everything around you feels unstable. Trust is what allows you to hold on when everything looks like it's falling apart. It's what propels you forward when doubts threaten to drown your faith. Trust is a declaration that your life is in divine hands and that no matter what, God's purpose will prevail. It reminds you that your pain is temporary, but His promises are everlasting. When you choose to trust, you're choosing to believe that your story isn't over, that your breakthrough is near, and that your purpose is unfolding in ways you could never imagine. Trust is the bridge that connects your present pain to your divine destiny, and in that trust, you find hope, strength, and the courage to keep moving forward. There's a power that comes from embracing your truth, from standing in the fullness of who you are without apology or fear. Many of us carry around masks, pretending to be someone we're not, hiding our scars, our doubts, our vulnerabilities, because we believe that showing weakness is a sign of failure. But what if I told you that your greatest strength lies in your authenticity? That your unique story, with all its imperfections, struggles, and victories, is exactly what makes you beautifully and undeniably you. Living in your truth isn't about perfection. It's about honesty. It's about stepping into the light of your own story and owning every part of it. The pain, the triumphs, the lessons learned along the way. When you embrace your truth, you're no longer bound by the expectations of others or the limitations you've placed on yourself. You're free to walk boldly in your purpose because you understand that your authenticity is a gift to the world. The world needs your truth, your voice, your perspective, because no one else can tell your story quite like you. Living in truth requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is often misunderstood. Many see vulnerability as weakness, but it's actually a sign of incredible courage. It takes strength to be real, to open up about what's really going on inside, to share your struggles and your dreams without fear of judgment. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects you to genuine relationships, to community, and to divine connection. When you allow yourself to be seen in your raw, unfiltered state, you invite others to do the same. Together, you create a space where authenticity flourishes and healing begins. Walking in your truth also means accepting your past, your mistakes, and your flaws. It's about forgiving yourself for the times you fell short, releasing shame and guilt that try to hold you hostage. Your imperfections do not disqualify you from purpose. They qualify you because they make your story real. They make your journey relatable and your testimony powerful. When you own your story, you take back your power. You realize that your scars are not signs of weakness, but badges of survival. They're proof that you've endured, that you've fought, and that you're still standing. There's a divine purpose in every part of your story, even the painful chapters. Sometimes we try to hide or suppress those parts because they're uncomfortable or embarrassing. But God uses everything, every failure, heartbreak, disappointment, and setback to shape us into who we're truly meant to be. When you embrace your truth, you open yourself up to divine transformation. You allow the healing power of God to work through your story, turning your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength. Living in your truth is also about aligning your outer life with your inner reality. It's about being honest with yourself and others about what you need, what you believe, and what you stand for. When you operate in integrity, you attract the right people, opportunities, and relationships that align with your authentic self. Living honestly creates a ripple effect. Your transparency encourages others to be real, and together, you build a community rooted in truth and empowerment. It's important to understand that your truth is not static. It evolves as you grow and learn. What you believe today may shift tomorrow, and that's okay. Living in your truth means being open to growth, change, and new understanding. It's about listening to your inner voice and trusting that the divine within you is always guiding you toward what's authentic and right. Trust that as you walk in your truth, you're aligning yourself with divine purpose, and that every step forward is part of a larger plan for your life. Living in your truth also requires a fearless commitment to your own happiness and well-being. Sometimes that means making tough decisions, walking away from relationships that no longer serve you, setting boundaries to protect your peace, or pursuing dreams that scare you. Your truth is a declaration that your life matters, that your joy matters, and that your voice matters. It's about living authentically, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular, because you know deep down that your authenticity is essential for your growth and fulfillment. When you stand in your truth, you become a light in a world often filled with darkness and shadows. Your authenticity shines as a beacon of hope, reminding others that they too can be brave enough to own their story. You inspire others to shed their masks and embrace their own truth because they see the freedom that comes from living honestly. Your truth becomes a catalyst for change, not just in your life, but in the lives of those around you. It's also about trusting that your story, with all its twists and turns, is part of a divine tapestry. Every thread, every color, every pattern has a purpose. When you embrace your truth, you see that even the painful moments contribute to the masterpiece that God is weaving in your life. Your struggles, your victories, your lessons, they all come together to create something uniquely beautiful. You are a work in progress, and that's what makes your story worth telling. Living in your truth means owning your voice and using it to uplift others. It's about sharing your experiences, your insights, and your wisdom, because your story can be someone else's survival guide. Your vulnerability can be a lifeline for someone feeling lost or invisible. When you speak your truth, you create space for authentic connection and genuine community. You become a catalyst for change, a witness to God's grace, and a testament to the power of living honestly. The journey of embracing your truth is ongoing. It's a daily decision to show up as your authentic self, to speak your truth, and to live in alignment with your divine purpose. Sometimes that means confronting uncomfortable truths or facing difficult conversations. But every time you choose honesty over concealment, you reclaim your power. You step closer to the life you were created to live, life filled with purpose, passion, and peace. Your truth is a gift, and as you walk boldly in it, you unlock the fullness of your potential. You realize that your authenticity is not just for your benefit, but for the transformation of the world around you. When you live in your truth, you become a beacon of hope, a witness to divine love, and inspiration for others to do the same. Your story, with all its authenticity, becomes a testament to the power of living openly, courageously, and unapologetic.